Welcome to the tutorial for 1-6, Darth Maul. This level is one of the harder prequel levels, consisting of some very difficult skips and platforming. For this reason, we have marked this level with a difficulty rating of 6 and an RNG rating of 4. Droids in this level can be unforgiving, and some of the rooms require lots of adaptation and adjustment. Let's begin. As the level begins, hold upright and swap to Qui-Gon. Begin to run over to this spot on the ground and set up for the first major trick in the level. Lamp jump. For lamp jump, the concept may appear simple, but the trick is actually somewhat complex. Your goal is to space a jump out enough to land directly under this lamp, and then jump up from under it. The game will treat the lamp as out of bounds collision, allowing you to go straight up top, where you can space a jump across to the other side, skipping the first boss fight and saving up to a minute. As you space a jump out, try to take this line to the lamp. It can be hard to perceive where you want to aim for, so either use this part of the lamp or this part of the wall as a visual cue for where to aim. Once you are directly under the lamp, go neutral with your player. Jump up on top of the lamp by either spamming jumps or pressing jump a few times slowly. Be careful when spamming jumps, since you can hit your head on this arch and fall off the lamp entirely. When you clip up through the lamp, center yourself above the lamp in the air and wait until you land. Once you have landed, hold this angle, get an edge jump, and space a jump across to reach the other side. Note that if you are on keyboard, this trick should be performed slightly differently. For keyboard, the line you take is similar, but the next part is slightly different. Instead of going neutral, you'll want to hold upright on the wall once you're under the lamp. Jump twice, making sure not to spam so you don't bonk, and from here you have some options. You can either immediately go into the next part without stopping, or you can stand still on the lamp and proceed as normal. If you opt not to stop, you should get an edge boost off the lamp, allowing you to make it to the other side a little bit more easily. If you bonk your head on the lamp, you are not lined up centrally under the lamp. Most of the time, this means you are too far left. If you do bonk, you can move slightly while falling and jump again to try and save the attempt. If you fail to get a jump entirely, you held neutral too early. If you fall off and die on top of the lamp, you will usually get a respawn on top of it, but can sometimes respawn back on the floor if you do not stay on the lamp long enough to set a respawn point. If you are still on the lamp, wait until your character flashes 3 times to lose invincibility frames before you can jump across again, as invincibility frames prevent you from running off of an edge. Once you have made it across, jump onto this machine and select the strat you wish to end the room with. You can either take the cart, which saves between 1 and 2 seconds, or skip the cart entirely. While the cart is faster, it is entirely down to RNG if you get shot out of it or not. It is recommended for newer runners to skip the cart and focus on taking a good line to the door instead. However, if you do take the cart, try to follow this line on the ground to minimize risk of being shot. Speed in the cart to the end of the room, or if you got shot out, simply run to the end, avoiding any droid shots behind you. If you did elect to skip the cart, follow this line to the door and avoid all the droid shots behind you as well, since you will want a high heart count for the next room. As you enter the second room, press tag before you can move to swap back to Obi-Wan. As you approach this gap, you will want to cut the corner off, spacing a jump across this line to be safe. You can play it riskier for a small time save, but a death here is very costly. Spam a double jump as soon as you land on the ledge, and spam another double jump as soon as you land on the platform above. Try to aim here to get past Darth Maul, as if he gets in front of you, he'll push you with his lightsaber. Next will be the Maul wall climb. You can get jumps off of these ledges sticking out of the wall, allowing you to scale the entire wall and reach the top, skipping the parkour section below. Begin by spacing a double jump to your right and cutting forward into the wall after your second jump. Land on this ledge and continue holding forward. To get a jump from this ledge, turn around as you double jump again. Once you have double jumped, hold forward again and you should land on the next ledge. This ledge functions exactly the same, so turn to the left and double jump up to the platform. Note that if your jump gets eaten while attempting this trick at any point, you are likely running into the wall. To avoid this, make sure you are not moving forward at all when jumping from the ledges. If you fall down during the wall climb, simply set the trick back up with a double jump facing away from the wall. Double jump from this platform to the left or perform a backflip for some small time save. Jump onto the top of the pillar and follow this line, staying inside to avoid any droid shots. It is not uncommon to get shot and die here, so don't worry if you do. Panning the camera to get the droids off screen can sometimes help with not getting shot. Jump from this ledge onto the bridge and enter the next room. Entering DM3, tag Qui-Gon and immediately do a quick slash with him afterwards. Jump across the gaps and run towards Maul. Make sure you call in player 2 at some point before the short cutscene plays, once you reach the main platform. Once the cutscene finishes, send player 2 down to the platform where the commander droid stands, while player 1 jumps to the circular platform and goes up top. Make sure to space this jump with player 1, otherwise the camera won't pan fast enough and he will die. Grab the power up with player 1 and begin running down while player 2 forces the commander droid off the ledge. Once the commander droid is falling, drop out player 2. Although he's not on screen, you can use audio cues to tell if player 2 got shot, interrupting his force on the commander droid. Head over to the commander droid on the left and force him off the ledge as well. Once the last commander droid is dead, start force pushing the rest of the battle droids. Once the very last droid is dead, walk down and jump slash to gain some extra distance during the camera pan. Jump across this gap and go up top to grab the power up with Qui-Gon. For the beginner strat, do a spaced double jump slam over this gap to break the shield of the first Droideka. Run in front of its gun and deflect its bullets using the properties of the power-up, killing it instantly. Jump across the gap and slam the other Droideka, doing the same thing to kill it. Jump back to the left button and stand on it. Obi-Wan should hit the right button and you can go and proceed to the end of the room. The advanced strat here is slightly faster and slightly harder. As you slam the first Droideka, call in player 2. He should spawn up top, and you can run off the edge with him to land on the left platform. Once the left Droideka is dead, have player 2 stand on that button and finish off the right Droideka with player 1 as normal. If player 2 did not come to the top platform with player 1, you can still do the call-in, but player 2 will call in on the main platform below, instead of the one up top. If this happens, you have to notice it and jump to the left platform with player 2. Note that slamming too close to the Droideka or too close to the edge of the platform can send your player off of the edge.
Note that if player 2's heart count is low, you may take an intentional death to reset your hearts on this platform before leaving the room.
The next room is very simple. Once you enter the room, immediately start forcing with both players, so you can force during the screen wipe. Move forward and force each lever to bring down the lasers, and enter the next room. The next room will be broken up by beginner and advanced again. The beginner strat is relatively simple. When you enter the room, wait a small amount of time and do a spaced double jump over Maul before slamming with both players. Run over to the left, and when you see Maul jumping back to you, do another slam with both players. Move even more left and do the same thing again. After this, force back the object Maul is throwing at you, and then walk to the left as soon as that's finished. While Maul is forcing the final object at you, send a player down to the left side of Maul and force the object with the other player. Once Maul jumps down, slash him twice with each player to take his final 4 hearts and end the level. The advanced strat in this room is cycle skips. This strat in total saves around 7 seconds, but is very difficult. Walk slightly down with both players, wait a small amount of time, then jump and slash with each player. The first set of slashes isn't as important, as your goal is to only hit Maul with 1 heart of damage here. The next set of jump slashes is frame perfect. You must jump with both players on the same frame and then slash with both players on the same frame. If you're even 1 frame off, Maul will jump away. You will have to do 2 sets of pressing jump and slash on the same frame with both players. If you hit both, you can slash Maul 1 more time with either player to hit him back down to 4 hearts. Then the rest of the room is played like normal, while continually moving left towards the final part of the fight. However, there are a few backups to messing up the cycle skips. They are just as important as learning the trick itself. since you cannot expect to hit this every time. It is important that Maul needs to be at an odd number of hearts. This trick works by hitting him past the even number of hearts, which is what causes him to trigger the next stage of the fight. If you mess up the first cycle skip and Maul has taken 2 total hearts of damage, move to the left to get ready for his jump back. Once he lands, you'll need to hit him once with one of the players, then try to do the cycle skip again. This same backup is done if you hit the first cycle skip but miss the second. In the rare instance where you miss the cycle skip but Maul is still at an odd number of hearts, that means your slash was just 1 frame off. You do the same backup as before, but just don't do the extra slash to hit him back down to an odd number. Note that taking a death during this camera pan allows your other player to get force movement in the cutscene. You can use this to force the platform where Maul is standing all the way down during the camera pan. By the end of the camera pan, he should have fallen off onto the floor with only 3 hearts left instead of 4. Qui-Gon's slash animation is slightly faster, so do 2 with him and 1 with Obi-Wan to end the level. This concludes the Darth Maul tutorial.